including 8 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you said yesterday, let's get through yesterday, and not too bad after that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Today is looking pretty nice. We got 70s expected in the afternoon, and before we get to the sunshine, it's actually quite foggy out there.
It really is,
I would say
yeah.
that. Driving down through Utica, lots of dense fog. Matter of fact, as I headed out the door this morning, what you can expect, well, here's a live look in downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. And it's a pretty, I would say, not so clear viewing experience of the downtown Utica skyline, and pretty evident here with visibility around New York State. Below 1 mile visibility for a lot of the regions. The fog, it wasn't too bad, but again, it was foggy from pretty much the entire arterial drive from New Hartford to North Utica. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are still seeing some lingering low-level moisture, low pressure off the coast, which is still not completely exited our region. So although we're looking mainly dry today, we can't rule out an, I would say, unexpected light or moderate shower, pop-up shower here and there, as the forcing in the atmosphere is still there. But following today, it's going to be entirely dry tomorrow with, I would say, partly sunny skies, mixture of sun and clouds. And following that, we've got a look at what we can expect for the weekend in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Investigators are looking.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. As you just saw in the Cavity Tower Cam, we have a blanket of fog over a lot of the region, especially right in the Mohawk Valley, and that might impact your morning commute as you head to work today on our Munson commute cast. First off, a live look below those clouds and fog. We have foggy conditions along I-90 in Mohawk, light fog in Genesee Street, intersection of the arterial. The arterial itself is still foggy. The fog isn't that dense, but it is noticeable, especially over the lowest elevations. But notice as you go down Route 20, the fog is non-existent. This is mainly a lower elevation type deal. Reminder, though, that there is still a detour in place for the Route 28 commute from Cooperstown to I-90. The drive time is up to 47 minutes, factoring in the posted DOT detour drive time. And then, besides that, 790 to Remsen, north of Utica, the road's looking okay there as well. And looking at those other drive times, first I-90, 19-21 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes along the arterial, so the fog isn't slowing down traffic too much. Again, as I mentioned, it's not too terribly dense. And then lastly, 5S eastbound and westbound and Route 49 eastbound and westbound, drive times looking okay. And this morning, we're dealing with some patchy fog, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And by this afternoon, we climb up into the low to mid 70s with a mixture of sun and clouds. Can't rule out a stray pop-up shower just yet, but looking much more dry compared to yesterday. We're tracking a return to more dry weather tomorrow and a preview of that weekend forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Another bridge damage.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. It's a foggy start out there for the Utica region as we take a live look over the clouds from our Cavity Tower camera. It's a bit of a blanket over much of the valley, and heading underneath those clouds, we take a live look in downtown Utica. Again, reduced visibility. You can barely see the Utica skyline in the background. The fog isn't terribly dense, but it is still dense, so just a heads up as you headed through this morning. Pretty much the entire arterial, the I-90 corridor heading through the Utica region is still foggy. And those temperatures this morning are in the 50s and 60s. 60 out in Syracuse, but here in Rome and Utica, 52 degrees, 52 as well in Hamilton, as well as a similar temperature up in Saranac Lake, both locations seeing patchy, dense fog. In a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, We are looking at mainly dry conditions, light mist this morning. You'll still have to use your windshield wiper with the foggy conditions. Also have dew on your windshield as well. And throughout the day today, it's looking to be not too bad. This is between 12 p.m. and onwards, and we're seeing temperatures climb into the low to mid 70s by this afternoon. And you can see rain chances here today. It's there, a pop-up shower possible, but that's really about it. Much more dry compared to yesterday, and we're actually seeing a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. Now, why are we saying that there's still a small chance for a pop-up shower? Well, because we're not entirely dry in the atmosphere. We got low pressure right off the coast here, heading into Boston, but the ripple of that system could fire up a pop-up shower, primarily in that band just north and west of Utica. But that's the best chance we have today of seeing a shower. This will eventually push more and more east by tonight and tomorrow, and will dry out by Friday. And for today, though, patchy fog over lots of the lowest elevations today. This afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, as you can see here. Pop-up showers possible along that band. Then things will dry out tonight. We're looking at mostly clear skies and temperatures falling down into the low 50s to upper 40s. Then by tomorrow, looking more dry. Same thing, mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the 70s, but here comes the rain again. Friday night, right around 11 p.m. and onward. And with this rain, it thankfully moves through during the overnight hours, and by around noontime Saturday, although it may be a damp start to the day, it's still going to be cloudy, temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, and overall cloudy and damp afternoon. But there is good news following that as we head into the second half of the weekend. For today, though, high is 75, sun and clouds, pop-up shower possible by tonight, a low 53 with mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast as we head into the next few days is looking a lot warmer as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Sunshine moving in a little bit delayed on Sunday. Upper 70s Monday and Tuesday, and then a cold front brings showers and storms arriving on Wednesday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. NASCAR fans will have in many spots this morning. Meteorologist Eric Gage has a look at whether we'll be seeing some sun today. Today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And coming up the hill, it was quite foggy for me.
Yes, foggy in the hill, also foggy in the lowest elevations too. The Mohawk Valley, very foggy. I-90 corridor, the arterial, also very foggy. So head over this morning, might have to budget that into your idea for the morning commute. But besides that, as you just asked the question of, are we going to see some sunshine today? Well, the good news is yes, a mix of sun and clouds, not totally unrestricted sunshine, but it's going to be a lot more dry today compared to yesterday. Downtown Utica, a view right now, it's still a bit foggy out there. Temperatures in the 50s, and around the state that visibility has been reduced to less than a mile for some locations, just around a mile officially at Rome. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Although we're expecting dry weather for the most part today, we can't rule out an isolated pop-up shower because low pressure is still driving off the coast, remaining stationary, and that could force a ripple in the atmosphere, produce maybe one or two of them later on in the day. But the next 12 hours, not too bad of an afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 70s, a mix of sun and clouds. And following today, we've got another dry day in store for us tomorrow, but we have a look at potentially a rainy start to the weekend, but maybe some good news following that. We have that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Utica Common Council is looking at
Good morning. Welcome back. Showcasing our photo of the day on this Thursday. We are going back to the spring photos of beautiful flowers. And how about these ones taken here? Apple blossoms in Westmoreland, taken by Stephanie Hunt. And I would say this, the apple blossoms, one of the best looking blossoms on trees in spring, and you couldn't ask for a better view right there. We've got photos submitted from trees, from flowers, from all walks of life here in central New York. And a big thank you to everyone who's been submitting photos that we can showcase here on Sunrise and hopefully lighten the mood, bring a smile to everyone's face. And if you want to be a part of that as well, you can also submit your photo to the link on top of your screen at WKTV.com/weather/pics. Trying something new today as well. I did a poll yesterday asking all of you, what is your go-to morning beverage as you wake up in the morning? Well, the common answer was coffee, and by a long margin. I asked coffee, tea, other, or neither, and coffee took around 77% of the vote with I think 240-ish votes overall. Tea came in second. It was falling behind a little bit by other and neither, but some other outlying answers were Pepsi. In one spot, it was beer. So I guess some people do enjoy their morning alcoholic beverage. What about you, Gary? Coffee, tea, neither, other?
I'll go with orange juice, I guess.
Orange juice? I do like some orange juice as well. So again, you can also vote on there as well. And if you have any other ideas of what I can ask and get feedback from you guys, you can send it to on my link on my Facebook page, facebook.com/EricGage WKTV. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Students and staff at Richfield Springs High School put on a mock.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. It's turning out to be a foggy start to the day today with temperatures not too bad in the 50s and some spots near 60. A live look from our Cavey Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. It's quite clear. In fact, blanket of fog below, the clear skies above. And what a scene right here too, because this is also looking out closer to the west where we've got that, or to the east I should say, where we have some clouds way out in the distance. Regardless though, heading below those clouds, it's a bit foggy. Downtown Utica right now, current temperature of 55 degrees, and around the state, similar temperatures, 50s in Rome, 52 in Hamilton, 60 out in Syracuse, 52 degrees up in Saranac Lake with some fog. And besides the mist and fog this morning, it's relatively dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. And throughout the day today, well, this morning we climb up into the eventually upper 60s by around noontime, 1 p.m., lows to mid 70s. Wind speeds not too bad today, but rain chances, as you can see here, non-zero, especially for the mid-afternoon. A pop-up shower can't be ruled out as low pressure is driving along the coast. You can see it right here. Circulation of low right off the New York City coastline heading to Boston with that widespread rain. But notice right here, we are mainly dry, but a ripple in the atmosphere up to the north could fire up maybe a pop-up shower for this afternoon, but nowhere near as rainy as yesterday, that's for sure. Well, patchy fog and a mixture of clear skies in those higher elevations this morning. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon and temperatures climbing into the low to mid 70s, so not too bad of a day for today. Then by tonight, skies will continue to clear. We're looking at mostly clear skies heading into early tomorrow morning, with temperatures falling down into the low 50s. Then by tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds once more, with little to no chance of rain for the daytime. But then as we approach the overnight hours, we are tracking the arrival of a front that will bring rain to the area for the start of Saturday. And then by noontime, lingering clouds, temperatures in the upper 50s to as high as the mid 60s. So a bit damp to start out your weekend, but beyond that, the clouds will still linger into the rest of Saturday, and then dry weather will move in by Sunday. And so for today, high 75, sun and clouds, pop-up shower. Tonight, a low 53 under mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast. Again, following Saturday, we've got a nice stretch of weather, Sunday through Tuesday, mid to upper 70s, sunshine, and then storms will arrive by Wednesday. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And boy, is it foggy even in the low-lying areas.
Yeah, that's right. Even some of the fog, I think, arrived here in the studio as well. A little foggy here. And yes, it's a foggy start in the lowest elevations, arterial I-90. If you guys are heading out this morning, you're probably going to be heading into as you head out the door. Matter of fact, let's take a look outside right now and see how things are shaping up. First on your forecast here at sunrise. And here we are, downtown Utica, a bit foggy, and pretty much the entire drive along the arterial is looking a bit foggy. And I'm going to, matter of fact, take a look back at the tower cam and show you guys the extent of these foggy conditions. Pretty much the entire lower elevation is a blanket all over the Mohawk Valley, and that's caused visibility to reduce, especially for the Utica-Rome region, but a lot of New York State down to less than a mile visibility. But the radar at this point is looking pretty dry. However, we've got a stubborn low pressure off the coast of New England that is going to try to fire up a pop-up shower today. But overall, it's looking much more dry than yesterday with a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures warmer as well into the low to mid 70s. So enjoy the nice weather today. We got nice weather in store for us tomorrow. We might see a rainy start to the weekend yet again, but there is good news following that. We'll let you know exactly what goes on for Sunday and the start of next week in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Investigators are looking at
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. A blanket of fog over the Mohawk Valley, and that is going to be causing some reduced visibility as you head out the door this morning on our Munson Commute Cast. First off, a live look in downtown Utica. Can barely see the skyline in the distance as the fog is turning out to be not extremely dense, but dense. And in fact, taking a look at the conditions along I-90 in Fultonville, same story. Heading out close to the Albany region, most of the Mohawk Valley is now seeing this foggy start to the day. And also a quick reminder on these drive times that the I-90 to Cooperstown Route 28 drive has that detour, which adds about maybe 12 more minutes to your morning commute. Current drive time sitting at near 50 minutes in one direction. But besides that, the rest of central New York, not looking at any accidents and road conditions besides the fog, looking pretty okay. So take a look at I-90 eastbound and westbound. Same thing for the arterial. And finally, for Route 5S and Route 49 heading to Rome. And so for today, we're talking about a foggy start to the morning, temperatures in the 50s. And then by the afternoon, we climb into the 70s with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Following today, we are looking at more sunshine in store for us tomorrow, but what we can expect for the weekend, we'll talk about that straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Another bridge damaged by a barge, this time in Galveston.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. The foggy start to the day continues with temperatures hovering in the 50s over a lot of the region. But a live look at our Cavey Tower camera, it's a very nice scene here. Besides the fact that there's reduced visibility, a blanket of clouds right below the tree line of Smith Hill and Deerfield. So taking a look right underneath those clouds from our Nexus Center camera, you can see what it looks like in the fog. And it's not completely dense or terribly dense fog, but it is still foggy, so budget a few extra minutes heading out to work today in case you do encounter some patches of more dense conditions. But again, the temperature 55 degrees, not too bad of a start today. And a matter of fact, 52 in Rome and Hamilton, 53, even warmer up in Saranac Lake, 60 out in Syracuse and in Albany. But besides these morning clouds and fog, it's actually turning out to be a pretty nice day with dry weather to start, aside from that mist going on right now, and potentially a stray pop-up shower north and west of Utica. Looking at a pretty nice afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 70s, and rain chances you can see right here, low but non-zero. But take a look right here. We got a mix of sun and clouds, and that'll be the story for today and for tomorrow as we enter a relatively dry stretch of weather. Now, the radar and satellite, what am I meaning by a stray pop-up shower? Well, we've got stubborn low pressure off the coast of New York City and Boston. And although this is not going to shift west, this has the ability to influence the atmosphere away from the rain shower, especially this stalled frontal boundary. You can see the faint signature of that right over Lake Ontario. That could fire up a stray pop-up shower this afternoon. But again, it's not looking widespread, and the closer you are to, for example, Otsego County, the less of a chance you are of seeing that shower. But regardless, today, morning fog and clouds give way to a mix of sunshine and clouds, and there's those pop-up shower chances right there. But besides that, looking pretty dry, temperatures in the 70s. Clear skies tonight. Lows fall down into the 50s, and then by tomorrow, same story. A mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the 70s, but then widespread rain looks to arrive by late Friday night, early Saturday morning, but then the rain tapers off. We're dealing with drizzle and mostly cloudy skies for the afternoon Saturday, but that will change as we head into the second half of the weekend. For today, though, high is 75, sun and clouds, stray pop-up shower possible tonight, a low of 53 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast. After a rainy start to the early weekend, we dry out Sunday and continue that dry stretch Monday through Tuesday. Highs upper 70s, and then a cold front will cool things down a little bit on Wednesday, but we've got sunshine in the forecast, Gary. Is that shocking?
Yeah.
Sunshine, several days of dry weather.
Wow, we're due.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. NASCAR fans will have the 16th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready if you're heading out right now for some fog, because it is thick.
Yeah, foggy in some spots, especially in the I-90 corridor, the Mohawk Valley, pretty much a lot of the region under some dense fog. So, again, as head out this morning, just a heads up, a look at those road conditions on your forecast here at sunrise. Again, it's a bit foggy, not too terribly dense, but it is still some dense fog. In fact, now you can see the city skyline in the distance from our Nexus Center camera. From reports from across New York State, visibility ranging from maybe a few miles to less than a mile, especially as down closer to Hamilton. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are looking pretty dry at this point, and we're continuing as well to monitor the extent of that fog here in the region. It's primarily in those valleys, but a lot of central New York seeing some of that fog at this point. Besides the fog, highest elevations seeing relatively clear skies. A beautiful start to the day, but temperatures will climb into the low to mid 70s this afternoon. A mixture of sun and clouds. We're not talking about widespread rain like we saw yesterday, but we could be seeing a chance for a pop-up shower later on this evening. We'll talk about those chances, plus what we can expect for Friday and the weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Utica Common Council is looking.
Welcome back. We are showcasing our photo of the day on this Thursday, and we are continuing our tradition of showcasing great spring photos. This one sent in by Stephanie Hunt of some apple blossoms in Westmoreland. A great shot right here. We have a lot of spring photos, flower photos, bird photos, any photos. A lot of them have submitted over the past several weeks. We can't thank you guys enough for all of your submissions. I feel like this is one of the segments I enjoy, trying to show the beauty of the locations here in central New York. So a big thank you. This will be showcased on News Channel 2 at noon, as well as posted on our social media pages as well. So if you want to submit a photo like this one, you can send the link right there on the top of your screen, wktv.com/weather/pics. Starting a new segment that I may or may not do every day or maybe once a week, doing a quick Facebook poll. And I figured yesterday, why not ask, what is your go-to morning drink? Coffee, tea, neither, or other? And over 200, around 250 votes submitted. The overwhelming majority was coffee, with 77% of the vote. Then, actually 75, I should say, I'm missing my math right here. Then 10% for tea, 9% other, and 6% with neither. So I can see that coffee is the overwhelming majority. And how about you, Gary?
Definitely orange juice here.
Orange juice. I'll go
Yeah.
orange juice, apple juice, tea, coffee if I'm really tired. But I'm not the biggest coffee person, but I do enjoy one every once in a while. Gary?
Yeah, I've never had a cup of coffee. Never.
Really?
Never.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A much different start today compared to yesterday with widespread rainfall. And today, well, besides the fog above the cloud layer, it's actually pretty sunny. A live look outside right now. We've got that blanket of fog over the Mohawk Valley, sunshine above it. But let's head below that fog layer into the lower elevations, and you can see quite the difference down in Utica. Can barely see the backdrop of the city's skyline, but the fog isn't terribly dense, but it is still foggy out, so budget an extra few minutes depending on the location as you head to work today. Current temperature though of 55 degrees, so it's a mild start as well. In Rome, a few degrees cooler at 52. Same thing with Hamilton, warmer up in Saranac Lake at 54, but you can see here indications of fog in a lot of the regions with low-lying clouds. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are all quiet and dry across the region this morning, and throughout the day today, it's actually looking pretty dry. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 70s with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. You can see here passing clouds here and there throughout the day, but pockets of sunshine as well. But although we're looking mainly dry for today, we can't rule out an isolated pop-up shower. Now, why is that? Well, we've got low pressure right off the coast here of New York City and Boston. Now, this widespread rain will stay well east of us for today, but the forcing of this system goes beyond the rain line. It actually connects to this very faint frontal boundary right here, and that could fire up an isolated pop-up shower later this afternoon, this evening, primarily north and west of Utica. But the chances there are low, and most of us will be rain-free for the entire day today. And so on our Skycast, morning clouds and fog give way to afternoon mix of sunshine and clouds, and temperatures climbing into the low to mid 70s. Then by this evening and tonight, looking at clear skies and lows falling down into the low 50s to upper 40s. And then same story tomorrow, although more dry, with a mix of sun and clouds. And then mostly cloudy skies with late evening as rain showers will begin to arrive overnight. Now, this rain will linger into the early start of Saturday, but then the front will start to weaken and we'll see mainly just clouds, patchy drizzle, damp conditions for Saturday afternoon. But it is trending nicer as we head into Sunday. And so for today, though, high 75, sun and clouds, stray pop-up shower possible by tonight. A low of 53 with mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast. We got 68 the high on Saturday, 75 the high on Sunday, and even warmer temperatures following that Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 70s. And if you can believe it or not, Gary, several days straight of dry weather. That's shocking, at least with this weather pattern we've seen recently.
Yeah, definitely about time.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, Mother Nature could offer an assist to firefighters battling massive wildfires in Canada in the form of cooler air later this week. A short but welcome reprieve for those in the fire's path. Reporter Meredith Wood has the latest from Canada.
The fire looked like it was getting real close, real fast. The wind was changing direction.
Firefighters could get a helping hand from Mother Nature later this week as a slow-moving storm moves in with cooler weather and some humidity. While that reprieve won't last, it will be welcome news for those battling and running from the fires. The Canadian Interagency Fire Center says around 130 wildfires are burning in Canada, dozens of which are considered out of control. Thousands have been forced to evacuate in the province of Alberta as flames move closer and communities are blanketed with thick smoke.
Everything was covered in burnt embers and whatnot, so it's time to get out.
That same area experienced a catastrophic wildfire back in 2016 dubbed the Beast.
As residents rush to leave their homes, I know that this will bring back difficult memories. This evacuation is a stark reminder that our province lives alongside the threat of wildfires and other national disasters.
Tens of thousands of acres are scorched from a fire in Manitoba, and a massive wildfire in British Columbia has forced thousands there to evacuate. Smoke from all of those fires has moved south with large swaths of the U.S. under air quality alerts Wednesday.
It's like a fog, it's cloudy.
And experts say the U.S. can expect air quality to continue to be affected this summer as fire season ramps up.
The days of long summers with hot temperatures and no smoke, those may not be very common anymore.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Boy, that fog doesn't seem to want to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, a lot of locations in central New York seeing dense fog in the lowest elevations. And in fact, I'm going to take a live look outside and see how it's looking at it right now. And so far in downtown Utica, it's foggy out. Now, it's not terribly dense, but in some spots it is dense enough to where you might want to reduce your speed a little bit with visibility less than a mile. And around the state, conditions have improved in Rome, but it's a different story in other locations. For example, Hamilton, below 1 mile visibility. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. For now, things are looking pretty dry, aside from that mist from the fog. However, even though we're expecting sunshine, mixture of sun and clouds, temperatures in low to mid 70s for today, we can't rule out a stray isolated pop-up shower just yet. We're going to talk about those rain chances, what we can expect for tomorrow, plus that detailed forecast for the weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Investigators are now looking into what
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. We are tracking lots of fog this morning, especially in the lower elevations. And above that fog layer, as we take a live look outside from our Cavity Tower camera, we can see that skies are relatively clear and a pretty nice start to the day. But heading underneath that fog layer into downtown Utica, you can see quite the difference with reduced visibility out to even barely seeing the backdrop of the Utica skyline at this point. But there are some patches of dense fog here and there, but most of the region, the fog is not too bad, but maybe budget an extra minute or so for your morning commute heading to work. Around the state, temperature-wise, we are hovering in the 50s over a lot of central New York, 52 in Hamilton, 54 in Rome, and 55 degrees in Saranac Lake. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Everything is pretty quiet. Again, you might have to use your wipers with some of the fog this morning as the dew is collecting on the windshields, but that's temporary. The fog lifts and we warm up into the low to mid 70s by this afternoon. Keep in mind though too that normal high has now reached 70 degrees, so we're entering that warmer stretch of late spring. Now, with a mix of sun and clouds today, we can't rule out a stray pop-up shower this afternoon, this evening. Now, why is that? Well, low pressure bringing rain showers to the Boston area right now is sticking out to the east, but this can also influence the weather beyond that edge of that rain band right there. Matter of fact, it can actually influence that stalled frontal boundary just north and west of Utica, and that could fire up a spotty shower this afternoon. Besides that, the rain wouldn't last too long. We are obviously much more dry today compared to yesterday, with a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon, highs in the mid 70s. Then by tonight, lows fall down into the 50s, in some spots 40s, with clear skies, and then another day of sun and clouds and temperatures in the low to mid 70s. But then by tomorrow evening, clouds will increase, and here comes a frontal boundary. Now this will move through, bringing widespread rain. It will likely weaken by the late to mid-morning of Saturday. And Saturday itself is looking overall pretty cloudy, a little cooler with highs in the mid-60s. But beyond that, it's trending a lot nicer as we approach Sunday. And so for today, high 75, sun and clouds, stray pop-up shower possible. By tonight, a low 53 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast. 75 the high Sunday, not too bad. Still some lingering clouds and sun, and warming up Monday and Tuesday, highs in the upper 70s.
Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, we have been saying this a lot lately, but what a difference a day makes, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Widespread rain yesterday, almost a washout at least 24 hours ago, and now a lot more dry.
Yes.
Take a live look outside. A few clouds in the sky right now, but it's not too bad. Upper 60s right now.
We'll take that.
Let's take a live look outside and take a view of our Cavvy Tower camera. Sunshine initially, a few clouds have moved in. This is from low pressure off the coast, which is still remaining stubborn. And as we mentioned this morning, it's a mostly dry day, but we can't rule out a spotty shower as this low pressure, zooming out a little bit, is still hugging the coast. Most of that rainfall still sticks to the Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island region at this point, but you can see just some lingering rain showers pushing as far north as parts of Fulton, Montgomery counties, Otsego County, Delaware County, and then a secondary layer that could form right northwest of Utica. But the next 12 hours favor mainly dry weather, a mix of sunshine and clouds, and temperatures up into the low to mid 70s. So even though we're not completely dry, much better weather compared to yesterday. Now we are tracking the end of some clouds and a return to clear skies this evening and tonight as we cool down to the 50s and 40s before we're looking at another dry day for tomorrow. We have a look at that, plus your weekend forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. There are new concerns this.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. It was a foggy one this morning and the fog is lifted and now we're under a mix of some sunshine and clouds. This time right now in downtown Utica, a bit more on the cloudy side than the sunny side, but temperatures are still reaching the upper 60s to low 70s. So 69 officially in Utica. In Rome, 1 degree warmer. At Griffiths, 70 degrees with some clouds and higher humidity. So with low pressure off the coast, it's dragging in some Atlantic moisture, which is causing humidity to be on the higher side. And of course, elevated cloud cover in what would be a completely sunny day today. But you can see here on the radar, some very light spritzy showers in parts of Montgomery County out near Albany. But besides that, most of the region is looking dry, and that will be the case the rest of this afternoon, aside from a few pop-up showers here and there. But the temperatures will still be remaining in the low to mid 70s, so not too bad of a Thursday. Much better than what we saw yesterday with that widespread rain in the morning and of the day today will cool back down into the low 60s to eventually low 50s. But regardless, regarding rainfall chances, it looks to be on the lower side heading into tomorrow. A preview of that weekend forecast. We're starting out with temperatures in the 60s on the weekend, a rainy start. But following that, there could be some good news with drier weather for the afternoon. Lingering clouds should come to an end. And Sunday looking the better of the 2 weekend days with highs in the mid 70s and of course a mixture of sun and clouds. And a live look at the radar and satellite. We are seeing rain showers to the east, and it looks like my screen is kind of moving down a little bit right now. I'm going to try to showcase a little bit of Utica right here. But we are still seeing dry conditions at this point. And so I'm going to try to show as much as I can in our Skycast right now. We have again, a mix of sun and clouds at this point. As we head throughout the afternoon and the evening, we will start to see more dry weather by tonight. Mainly clear skies, temperatures will fall down to the 50s. And then by tomorrow morning, increasing clouds, mixture of sun and clouds, and temperatures rising up into the low to mid 70s. But as we head into Saturday, you can see here a rainy start, but it's only temporarily. As we head throughout the afternoon, we'll start to dry out, and then we could see eventually some clearer skies as we head into Saturday evening and eventually Sunday. And so for today, though, high is 75, sun and clouds and some pop-up showers. By tonight, a low of 53 with mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast, we've got 60s on Saturday, 70s on Sunday, and a warmer temperature trend as we approach Monday and Tuesday, and then eventually rain showers as we head into Wednesday. We'll be right back.
And welcome back. Let's start this half hour with some good news. It is sunny out and warming up, but this morning, boy, was it cloudy.
Yeah, look at that blanket of fog. And my favorite part about this is when you take a time lapse of it, you can see the fog and the clouds kind of bubbling over the valley, and then you can finally see it slowly start to lift as the daytime warms. That's a great shot right there. And a live look at what's going on right now. Well, we've got a few clouds in the sky, but taking a look directly on our Cavvy Tower camera, you can see here more clouds than sun at this point, but as we head throughout the afternoon, we're going to be dodging a pop-up shower, possibly in some locations. In fact, you can see here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, low pressure off the coast is kind of dragging in some moisture, and these rain showers aren't expected to be anything major, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of a spotty shower, but beyond that, most of us are going to remain entirely dry for this afternoon and this evening. In the next 12 hours, we're talking about still mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies, and then a return to a bit more sun as we head into this evening. Then clear skies tonight, and we're tracking a nice day tomorrow. Mix of sun and clouds once more, and temperatures yet again into the low 70s. Have a look at that, plus what you can expect for the weekend in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Herkimer College held a virtual screening on Wednesday for a documentary called the SUNY Higher Education in Prison program. The SUNY administration made a documentary about college prison programs across the state.
Dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. We are dealing with a mix of sunshine and clouds at this point. This hour, a bit more clouds than sunshine, but regardless, it's a pretty pleasant afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 60s with, although some spots seeing maybe some light drizzle, most areas are still looking dry. Temperatures are remaining in the low 70s at Griffith and Rome with cloudy skies and increased humidity as we head throughout the rest of the day today. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Not everything is completely dry. We've got low pressure off the coast. This is dragging in that Atlantic moisture and causing, again, humidity to be a little bit higher and potential for some patchy drizzle here and there, and what otherwise would be a completely dry day if that system was not off to our east. But regardless, throughout the afternoon and the evening, temperatures still remain pretty pleasant in the low to mid 70s with, I would say, mainly dry weather. Those rain chances drop off almost entirely by the evening with clearer skies moving in by tonight. But you can see that even though we're going to see a few clouds in the sky, it'll be a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the afternoon, and then more clear skies move in by tonight. An early preview of the weekend forecast. We're getting a better idea of how things are shaping up, but still a lot of variables at play here. Regardless, we're thinking that Saturday is going to trend a little bit on the cooler side, 60s with a rainy start, but the rain is temporary. By the afternoon, things will dry out with maybe some still stubborn clouds, but then it dries out more on Sunday, the nicer of the two weekend days. Sun and clouds and temperatures climbing into the mid 70s. Radar and satellite showing that low pressure off the New England coast. I would say closer to New York City, near Long Island at this point, but most of the rain is falling in New England. But it is influencing systems outside of that region, and that's why we are seeing a few spotty showers on the radar at this point. So on our Skycast this afternoon, this evening, a mix of clouds and sun, a few spotty showers, but they could be brief and they will be light. Nothing major, at least completely different than what we saw yesterday. Then by tonight, skies will clear once more. We've got lows falling down into the 40s and 50s. And then by tomorrow, same story, a mix of sun and clouds, although it will be a little bit more dry. And then by tomorrow night, we're going to see a line of some showers move through, but with the latest trends coming in, this line, this front, is going to lose some of that energy and then weaken over our area. Now, this model here kind of is a bit more bullish on the rain showers, but we're thinking that by the late morning, early afternoon, we do dry out for the most part, and then as we head into Sunday, even nicer weather. For today, though, high is 75, sun and clouds, a pop-up shower possible by tonight, a low of 53 with mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast. Following Sunday, we've got 2 warmer days, upper 70s Monday and Tuesday. Same thing, partly cloudy skies, nicer weather, and then rain arrives late Wednesday from a cold front bringing in some showers and storms. So if we get maybe 3 days of dry weather, I think we have to throw a party. How long has it been since we've had 3 straight days of dry weather?
It's like we're up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. Now to the north of us, up in Plattsburgh.
Time for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Nice day out there today.
Yeah, for the most part, the weather improving compared to yesterday. A couple of sprinkles to point out on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Let me show you here. Well, I mean, they're pretty hard to see. You got to get in really close. You might get a brief shower here this evening. They're coming in from the east, an unusual wind direction for weather. That's because we have low pressure to the south, and our prevailing winds today are coming from the east. For the most part, a nice evening ahead. The weather looks pretty nice over the next couple of days. 70 degrees is the current temperature. It is a lot warmer today than it was yesterday. We've been seeing a few breaks of sunshine, but it's generally been mostly cloudy, and that will continue as we head into this evening. Some patchy fog is expected tonight. Well, we'll get a chance to warm up slowly over the next 7 days. Our next chance of rain is Friday night. That looks to linger into Saturday. But in general, the weather is looking pretty nice looking ahead. This evening, mostly cloudy. Again, we can't rule out a brief shower. Temperatures in the 60s. We're tracking more summer-like weather by early next week. A look at the forecasts coming up. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. Mida Lighting has been around for 50.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
A generally pleasant stretch of weather is expected here over the next couple of days. We will be occasionally dodging a few sprinkles like we will this evening. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. There's not a lot to show you here, but it's not completely clear. We're zooming in, and we do have a few occasional pop-up showers. These don't last for very long. If you're caught underneath one of these, it could briefly rain for, again, maybe 5-10 minutes tops before this moves on. This is coming in from the east because that's our prevailing wind direction today, with an area of low pressure parked to the south. A live look in downtown Utica, 69 degrees. We're seeing some patches of blue, so we will get some occasional breaks of sunshine. Also, too, some of this shower activity is being caused by the heating of the sun. So as we head towards sunset, skies will generally become partly cloudy, and those rain showers that are around now will be coming to an end. Looking to do some yard work over the next couple of days. The weather should be pretty decent tomorrow. That'll go down as a yes. Saturday, late in the day, some showers are expected early. The second half of Saturday looks dry. Sunday should be a pretty nice day, too, especially during the early to mid-afternoon. Temperatures are milder today than yesterday. A lot of places hit 70 in Dolgeville, as well as Little Falls, Westmoreland, 71, and Westerville at 72. Across Southern Valley, Sherburne 65, Oneonta 59, Skidivas 61, Cooperstown with 64. Some of the cloud cover thicker south of the Mohawk Valley today. An area of low pressure to our south. This is a nor'easter. Nor'easter is not always a snowmaker. It's just based on the track of the low. So long as it's off the coast, that's the name that we give it. And this one is producing some rain towards Boston, Cape Cod. We're on the fringe of this. As the system drifts to the east, our weather will slowly improve. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Patchy fog is expected by tomorrow morning. Temperatures drop into the low 50s. Tomorrow, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, but it looks generally dry with temperatures near 70 for the high. Heading into tomorrow night, a round of rain is expected to approach from the west. This is part of a very slow-moving cold front. And Saturday, we're looking at some showers in the morning, but I do think we'll start to dry out in the afternoon. So it's not a completely dry weekend here, but it does look to be better than the past several weekends. We've had a lot of wet Saturdays, so this one should start out wet but should finish dry. Patchy fog tonight, low of 53. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, a high of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks warmer heading into next week. We've bumped up the high temperatures, now close to 80 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before a cold front arrives. The overnight lows in the 50s to low 60s, and I know a lot of people are getting ready to plant, but we're going to talk about what areas might want to hold off.
All right.
Okay, all right. The traditional rule, Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
But those temperatures make me think maybe we could do it. I'll wait for your forecast.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill. Parts of the South are experiencing significant flash flooding right now.
Several rounds of storms are happening today and tomorrow. Amy Kiley reports that forecasters are predicting a nightmare.
Stay vigilant. There's actually another storm system that is slated to be moving through Louisiana.
Some forecasters are calling it a nightmare scenario for weather. Southern states are already waterlogged from this month's severe weather. Now some areas could get as much as 3 inches of rain per hour during new rounds of storms. Forecasters say parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi could see significant flash flooding today. Storms could stretch into Alabama, Georgia, and Florida tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little harrowing.
Some communities in the path of these new storms are still picking up the pieces from previous ones.
We have been through several hurricanes here, and through all of the cleanup and stuff that we've done, this is probably the worst I've ever seen this facility in 20 years.
He's talking about this baseball field in Louisiana's West Baton Rouge Parish. It's damaged from a deadly storm Monday. So is this man's nearby home.
I mean, we're lucky that, yeah, the roof didn't cave in more than I guess it already has.
Houston's Hobby Airport has a freshly repaired runway after a lightning strike Monday. And in Tallahassee, Florida, residents on one street say debris trapped them at home Sunday.
It was a lot of pulling branches and getting the hedge trimmers out. Unfortunately, we don't have chainsaws, so it took a lot of hand sawing.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Coming up, a recall on older range ovens.
Also tonight, pessimologist Bill Curtis.
So we're talking about when is it time to plant? And I know that there is a rule around here to wait until Memorial Day weekend, but we live in such a different climate. There's some areas that get much colder than others. I think it's pretty safe if you want to start planting only in the Mohawk Valley. If you live outside the Mohawk Valley, one of those colder pockets, I'm going to ask you to wait at least another week. You're going to want to wait until after Memorial Day weekend if you live in the Adirondacks. This is just based on seasonal averages here. Again, it takes a lot longer to get the growing season started in the Adirondacks compared to the Mohawk Valley. Live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2, Doppler radar. Some sprinkles continue to move in from the east this evening, but in general, they don't last for very long. Look at these temperatures. We are warming up, especially as we head into next week. It's going to feel like summer, or at least early summer, with temperatures in the 80s Monday, Tuesday, and likely Wednesday. This evening, again, watch out for a brief shower. Tonight's featured dog, Charlie from Rome. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We're tracking, again, some warmer weather ahead. A look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Decision 2024. There will
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking just a few sprinkles out there this evening. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. These are approaching from the east, so an unusual direction. Usually our weather moves from west to east, but today, with low pressure to our south, that's the prevailing wind direction. We are experiencing a few scattered showers here. Taking a closer look, these are heading towards Boonville. They don't last for very long. So if you are one of the unlucky ones caught in a shower today, just wait a couple of minutes. Things will clear out. This picture, Jeff in Mohawk. Take a look at this four-leaf clover. He says it was a big one compared to the rest of the group. Maybe this is a sign that our weather is changing. Maybe we'll start to look out here. I know it's been a very wet and cool spring here in central New York, or at least that's the way it feels. Live look at Oneonta. Current temperature 61 degrees, generally overcast skies. We're dry tomorrow. We have some showers in the forecast for Saturday, but the outlook does call for drier, warmer, and sunnier weather as we head into next week. A pattern change is expected to unfold. Our sky watchers checking in: Whitesboro 67, Clinton 74, Barneveld 68. Donna in Norway, 67 degrees. Inlet, Eric with 65. Westford, 60. Worcester, 62. Cooler across the southern valleys with more cloud cover due to a closer proximity to a nor'easter, which is to the south. You can see this swirl taking place in the atmosphere to the south of us. That's the center of low pressure off the Atlantic coast. This is going to weaken and head to the east. And as it does so, our weather looks to improve. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight, clearing skies. Some patchy fog is expected by tomorrow morning. We'll drop down into the low 50s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy skies expected. High temperatures climb into the low to mid 70s. We are looking at dry weather throughout the day. Different story Friday night as a weak weather system approaches from the west. Widespread rain is expected Friday night into Saturday. That could linger into Saturday morning, but in general, we're thinking the weather dries out Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening with improvements later in the day. Patchy fog tonight, low of 53. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, warmer than today with high temperatures in the mid 70s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers Saturday morning. We should get a chance to dry out in the afternoon. 71 for the high. Sunday, warmer, partly sunny, close to 80. Temperatures expected to climb into the low 80s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A cold front arrives Wednesday afternoon. It could produce some showers and thunderstorms. Cooler weather to follow on Thursday. We'll be right back.
Bill Cardis.
Turning out to be a pretty nice day across central New York. There have been a few spotty showers to track, and right now this evening the weather looks generally dry, but again a few spots are seeing some isolated showers, mainly across northeastern Oneida County. These are moving in from the east, and again, for most of us, it's going to be a dry and very nice evening. Temperature of 71 degrees, sunshine being reported at Griffith and Rome. The humidity is up. Dew point is now up to 57. That's the highest that it's been so far this season. We're tracking some patchy fog tonight. We'll expect temperatures to warm up again tomorrow. We'll climb back to the 70s. And in general, the weather looks pretty nice heading into early next week. We are tracking some rain, though, as we head into the start of the weekend. Spotty shower this evening. Otherwise, it's mostly cloudy and generally pleasant with temperatures in the 60s. We've got to look at some warmer weather ahead. Look at the forecast coming up. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. The Office of Temporary and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Improving weather today, at least compared to yesterday's washout. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The majority of central New York stays dry this evening. We do have a couple of lingering showers. We'll zoom in. You can see moving in from the east across northern Oneida County, just north of Trenton. This is a brief shower. A lot of these showers, the few that are out there, will be falling apart as we head towards sunset. They're being driven by the heating of the sun. In fact, we look in downtown Utica, there's some blue sky, a temperature of 69 degrees. With this warm weather sticking around, a lot of you have been asking, is it safe to plant? The answer is, it depends on where you live. If you live in the Mohawk Valley, this is usually the time where we see the final frost of the season. It's the middle of May. And so with the extended forecast staying away from frost, it is probably safe to plant. If you live outside of the Mohawk Valley, north or south, or in some of those colder pockets, you're going to want to wait another week or two. While there's no frost in the forecast, it can still happen in late May to early June, and it's better to be safe than sorry. We'll continue to keep an eye on things and keep you updated. The rainfall outlook tomorrow looks dry. We have a few chances for rain Friday night as well as early Saturday, but the outlook in general does call for more days that look to be dry here in central New York, and also some warmer and sunnier weather ahead. Our sky watchers checking in: Whitesboro 67 degrees, Mike in New Hartford with 69, Donna in Norway 67 degrees, and Deb in Hartwick, one of the cooler spots, with 59. The clouds were thicker south of the Mohawk Valley thanks to an area of low pressure off the Atlantic, and this nor'easter Again, it's the name of the track of the storm. They don't always produce snow. This is going to head to the east, and our weather will slowly improve as we head into tonight and tomorrow. Skies are expected to clear out overnight. That could set the stage for patchy fog. Overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy skies, dry. Temperatures climb into the 70s. Tomorrow night, a round of rain arrives from the west as a weak disturbance moves in. These showers could be around early Saturday, but we do expect the weather to dry out Saturday afternoon. A generally cloudy day with temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Patchy fog tonight, a low of 53. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, otherwise a generally pleasant day and a high of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers Friday night could linger into early Saturday, 71 for the high Saturday afternoon. Sunday, we're up to 79. It's going to feel like early summer next week. Temperatures in the low 80s.
People are going to start opening their pools all of a sudden, right?
Get the air conditioner out.
Party at Jason's.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Look at the forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a sunset tonight.
Well, this was taken earlier this month, but
Okay.
this was a really, really nice one. We did have a couple of beautiful sunsets tonight, too, but this one was the top of the list from Deb Crum and Waterville. A nice sunset. We're going to see a nice day tomorrow, too. We did have a couple of sprinkles out there earlier today, but those have gone away, and we're looking at dry conditions. Now, with the weather getting warm, with nights getting warm, you may be thinking it's time to plant, but for the Mohawk Valley, I think you can probably get away with it. It's the outlying areas that we still may see a frost here later this month. It's not in the forecast, but it is something that's certainly possible. Remember, we can really only see about a week in advance, so we're still recommending people hold off for now. Current temperature is 63 degrees, cloudy skies. The weather will remain dry as we head into this evening as we take a live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Now tonight, we're expecting some patchy fog. Overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. We do have some warm weather ahead. We've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Last year, drug over.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Things have quieted down. We were tracking just a few sprinkles earlier today. The weather is looking pretty quiet tonight. Live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Outside, a temperature of 62 degrees. Notice the nights are getting warmer too. It's feeling maybe a touch like a late spring to early summer night here in central New York, and we're tracking some warmer temperatures as we look ahead. Looking to get some yard work done. If you didn't get a chance to work on things today, tomorrow's a good day. Saturday, maybe late in the day. Sunday will be better. The weekend in general has shown some signs of improvement. It doesn't look completely dry, but it is trending drier, especially for Saturday. Again, we do have that chance for rain Saturday. But other than that, I think we'll be able to avoid the rain here for the next couple of days. It's been very wet lately, and we definitely do need a chance to dry out, and I do see some dry days ahead. Temperatures in the low 60s across upstate New York, 57 in Hamilton, 59 in Binghamton. Tonight, overnight lows are expected to drop into the low 50s. We could see some patchy fog here as we head into tomorrow morning. High pressure is going to take over today's weather system, this nor'easter, this area of low pressure. The center of it is located right here. This is going to very slowly drift to the east and eventually take the clouds with it. We were on the very fringe of this weather system today, but again, as this storm system weakens, our local weather looks to improve. Tonight, we're looking at mostly clear skies. Some patchy fog develops. We'll start out tomorrow morning with temperatures in the low 50s. Tomorrow, some clouds, high clouds arrive from the west, so we'll call it mostly cloudy. Looking at dry weather throughout the day, temperatures in the low 70s. Widespread rain is expected tomorrow night as a weak disturbance approaches from the west. This is expected to linger into Saturday morning, so we do start out Saturday wet, but we should dry out in the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the upper 60s to low 70s. Patchy fog tonight, a low of 53. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, again some fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, high temperature of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers expected Saturday morning, but we do get a chance to dry out. 71 for the high. It's looking warm as we head into next week. 79 on Sunday, 81 Monday, 82 Tuesday. 82 Wednesday. Some showers and thunderstorms arrive Wednesday afternoon with a cold front. Temperatures in the 70s Thursday. But you can see those overnight lows are kind of summer-like in the 50s and 60s.
What are you doing Monday?
I'm here.
We should call in, help me open my pool. What do you say?
I don't have anybody to fill in. We'll just skip the weather.
That's their problem. Thanks, Bill. Coming up next, first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Beautiful sunset over Waterville taken this month.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spring sunset. This was taken a little bit earlier this month, about a week ago, from Deb Crum. But we had a lot of beautiful sunset pictures tonight, too. It's nice to see the spring flowers out despite some of the rain that we've been getting lately. Actually, if anything, it kind of helps move things along here. We're tracking some warmer weather ahead, and with the warm season right around the corner, a lot of people are thinking about planting. And if you live in the Mohawk Valley, this is usually the time of the year where we have the final frost. It's usually in the middle of May. So with no frost in the extended forecast, you might be able to get away with planting now. But if you live in the outlying areas, any of the colder pockets, north or south, especially the Adirondacks, I'm going to want you to hold off for at least another week, because while there's no frost in the forecast, we're still in that realm. We could still get it in late May to early June, and it's just too far into the future to see weather-wise. So again, some of us were okay to plant, some of us not. Current temperature 60 degrees. We're mostly cloudy. As we head into tonight, we're expecting the weather to remain dry. As a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some patchy fog develops overnight. Temperatures drop into the low 50s. We're tracking warmer weather, actually feeling a little bit more like summer in the extended outlook. A look at the forecasts coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Last year, drug overdose deaths were down.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Things are drying up. We had a few sprinkles earlier today, but it's going to remain dry tonight. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A live look in downtown Utica, a temperature of 60 degrees. It's getting warmer at night as we're slowly getting closer to summer. One thing we're going to be keeping an eye on is the development of fog tonight, especially in valley locations, areas near bodies of water. Could see some fog first thing tomorrow morning. If you're looking to get yard work done over the next couple of days, you do have a few opportunities. Tomorrow would be a good day. Late Saturday, we have some rain expected Saturday morning, but we should be able to dry out later in the day. If not then, Sunday should be a nicer day. We're expecting dry weather. Our rain chance looks to be Saturday. Actually, it's Friday night into Saturday. Saturday morning, looking at some showers, but in general, it looks like we're going to get out of this consistently wet pattern that we've been in for the past several weeks. Now, we're expecting drier, sunnier weather, along with warmer temperatures ahead. Again, temperatures in the 60s and 50s this evening. Syracuse still 67 degrees, Ithaca 61. It's also becoming increasingly more humid, too, although it's not uncomfortable. It's just becoming more noticeable. The radar and satellite image showing this area of low pressure. The center of circulation is where we find a nor'easter. Again, that's a name given to a storm off the Atlantic coast. They don't all produce snow, by the way. Now, this one's just a complete rainmaker. By the way, we've been on the fringe of this storm today. That's why we saw a few sprinkles. But as this low heads to the east, we should get a chance to dry out for tomorrow. Tonight, patchy fog. Overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. Tomorrow, clouds start to approach from the west, so we'll call it mostly cloudy. But I think it'll be a pretty nice day. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Heading into tomorrow night, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies, along with a few rain showers. Especially after midnight, temperatures fall into the 50s. It looks wet to start Saturday morning, but Saturday afternoon, I think we'll get a chance to dry out. High temperature Saturday in the upper 60s to low 70s. Patchy fog tonight, a low of 53. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies and a pretty nice day, high temperature of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers expected Friday night into Saturday. So a wet start to Saturday, but I do think we dry out. 71 for the high, 79 on Sunday. We're into the low 80s. It's going to feel a lot more like summer as we head into early next week.
And those warmer nights, too. That's when when we walk out of here and you don't need a coat.
I like this time of the year.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Coming up next, the State Education Commissioner